Hello, Owls. Today I'm going to be working with you still on conversion tables for time. And the one assignment that you need to have with you is your assignment from yesterday, from Wednesday, that sheet that you filled out. You are going to need to reference this multiple times today during the lesson. So today, you'll notice that I just have circled number 4 right here, solve. We're going to work on these right here, A, B, C, D. And then on my second page, we're going to be working on question number 2 together. And between these two, 5 problems, you can use to complete today's activity for Thursday. So we're going to start here with 570 minutes. And as I see that I have 570 minutes, I'm trying to find out how many hours will that be. So I'm going to come up here to my conversion table, and I see that 9 hours is 540. So I'm going to use that number right there, 540. So now I'm going to write 570 minus 540 and find my difference, which means I'm subtracting. And so 0 minus 0 is 0, 7 minus 4 is 3, 5 minus 5 is 0. So for my first one is 9 hours because this here represented the 9 hours and I had left over was 30 minutes. When I look at number B, it says 7 minutes and 45 seconds is equivalent to how many seconds? So I'm going to go up and I'm going to look at my table here and see 7 minutes is 420. So I'm going to start with 420. So I have 420, that represents my 70, and I'm going to add those 45 seconds. So plus 45 seconds. And I know that 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. Bring down the 4. So I have 465 seconds. When I move on to the next one, I see now that I have days and hours, and it tells me how many hours I have right here. So when I look at that, I'm going to come up here, and I know that I have 571 hours that I'm trying to figure out how many days. And of course, it only goes up to 240. But if I take that 240 and I double it, let's see how close that gets me to 571. So 240 plus 240, 0 plus 0 is 0, 4 plus 4 is 8, 2 plus 2 is 4. That's getting me awfully close. And I know that 240 hours, I know that this was 10 days and this was 10 days. So right now I am at 20 days so far. And I need to get the difference between 571 and 480. So I'm going to subtract these two. So 571 minus 480. Well, 1 minus 0 is 1. I can't take, when you have more on the floor, you must go next door. So I'm going to have to regroup and borrow. So my 500 becomes a 400. My 70 becomes 17. So now I have 17 minus 8, which is a 9. So now I have 91 hours. I'm going to go back up to my chart and see that 4 days is 96 hours. So now I'm going to, and that's going to be too much. So I'm going to take 72 because that's less. So that's 3 days. So I'm going to subtract 72 hours. And when I subtract, I've got 11, 10, 9, 1. So this was another 3 days here. So I have my 20 days plus 3 days. So 20 plus 3 is 23. And I had 19 hours remaining. On our last one, we have 23 hours and 5 minutes. So when I come up here and I look at my hours, I know that 10 hours is 600 minutes. So if I double that, I've got 600 plus 600, that is 1200, and this alone right here is 20 hours. If I come back up, I know that 3 more hours is 180 minutes. So now I'm going to add that on. So 180 more minutes. So now this is 3 hours. So 0, 8, 3, 1. And then I have that 5 right there. So now I'm going to add that right on. So my answer is 1,385. So Als, the answer was 1,385. And I'm going to leave this here just for a moment. If you want to pause the video at any time, you're always more than welcome to. Remember that the most important paper to be using throughout this time is the assignment that you completed yesterday, which was your conversion chart for both minutes to seconds, hours to minutes, and days to hours. Now we're going to work on one more problem together, and it's question number 2 on my paper. And it says, the astronauts from Apollo 17 completed 3 spacewalks while on the moon for a total of 22 hours and 4 minutes. How many minutes did the astronauts walk in space? So in order to figure this out, we need to figure out how many minutes is 22 hours. So if we go back up and we look at our hours, we know that 10 hours is 600 minutes. So 10 hours plus 10 hours would be 20 hours. So 600 minutes plus 600 minutes is 1,200 minutes. So we know that 20 hours is equal to 1,200 minutes. Oops, U-T-E-S. All right. And so from there, we still have 2 more hours and 4 minutes to add on. So if we go back up and we look, we see that 2 more hours is 120 minutes. So now we have 2 hours, which is equal to 120 minutes. And then we have those 4 minutes. And now we're going to add 0 plus 0, 4. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1. So our answer is 1,324 minutes the astronauts spent on their walk in space. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your homeroom teachers. Have a great day, Als.